Okay, Shalom Akim, Kahalan Yahaba Shimi Ashaba Shimaka Kodash, and double on Screamers on Apostles. This is the part 2 to the other video. I think I called it Shrimp Clean the Sea, Shrimp Clean the Sea, Swine Cleans the Earth. You know, and for this video, before I get to this one, because this is really the reason why I named it Swine Cleans the Earth. But this one's really just the reasons why, you know, consuming pig meat ain't it, man. I know this is I think it's the one of the Tampa Bay camps, you know, in America, Elder Ibar, and you know, he made this video. No, it was somewhat recent. I mean, it was 1 month ago, but yeah, I just wanted to make the video now. So he named it "Pig meat is not meant for human consumption. Countless parasites in that pork," and yeah, that's the truth of it, man. That's the truth, but let me get to it, and then, you know, bring some precepts and wrap it up, man. I'll probably play some of this video too.
Is that the meat of the pigs become more saturated with toxins than many of its counterpart farm animals. The first reason has to do with the digestive system of a pig. Pigs are the filthiest animals on the earth, with the most parasites and diseases than any other animal that mankind consumes. Pigs are commonly associated with eating not only their own feces, but of other animals and humans. In parts of the third world, it is the best scavenger known that exists in the village.
This is what I'm saying. Swines are the cleaners of the earth, man. If you have an animal that eats its own feces, imagine the animal eating its own poo, simply put. And then we got Jake out here eating all sorts of flipping pork related products. Then you got what do they have? Obviously you had the recent Christmas, which was you know, you got heathens and Jake eating pigs in the blanket. It's pretty much just I think it's like bacon wrapped up in a pork sausage. You got the normal typical pork sausages. Pork is pretty much everywhere, man. It's everywhere. In the foods and even in normal products as well, which people may use. You know, there's this thing called gelatin. I think that's also a chemical or a compound or something of that sort. Something that contains pork, or which is put in food. I think Haribo is an example of what Haribo and gummy bears are an example of foods that contain pork, man, little snacks like that. So, you know, but really, yeah, man, going back to the point, pigs eat their own poo, man, and then we got Jay eating that nonsense. The bacon for breakfast, you got the pork sausages that they always prepare. You know, brothers with families who don't care about the laws at all, of course they probably see them eat pork a lot as well. You know, so yeah, the cleaners of the earth, man, it's senselessness. It's like the other shrimp video where they're the ones who are cleaning the sea, and you got Jake wanting to eat shrimp all day, man. You know, honestly, let me continue though.
Villages that do not have modern toilets, and the villages excrete in open air. Excreta is cleared by pigs. Pig farm with 5,000.
See, excreta is cleared by pigs, man. The pigs clean up the poo. Obviously, you got the poo that also goes to the earth for, you know, nourishment, for further growth of crops. But pigs also clean them up as well, man. It's like a second form of cleaning. Pigs.
Animals produces as much fecal waste as a city of 50,000 people. A pig digests whatever it eats rather quickly, in up to about 4 hours. On the other hand, cow takes a good 24 hours to digest what it's eaten. During the digestive process, animals, including humans, get rid of excess toxins as well as other components of the food eaten that could be dangerous to health. Pigs' bodies contain many toxins, worms, and latent diseases, although some of these infestations are harbored in other animals. Modern veterinarians say that pigs are far more predisposed to the illnesses than any other animal. This could be because pigs like to scavenge and will eat any kind of food. Since the pig's digestive system operates rather basically, many of these toxins remain. Animals produces as much fecal waste as a city of 50,000 people. A Pig digests whatever it eats rather quickly, in up to about 4 hours. On the other hand, cow takes a good 24 hours to digest what it's eaten. During the digestive process, animals, including humans, get rid of excess toxins as well as other components of the food eaten that could be dangerous to health. Pigs' bodies contain many toxins, worms and latent diseases, although some of these infestations are harboured in other animals. Modern veterinarians say that pigs are far more predisposed to the illnesses than any other animal. This could be because pigs like to scavenge and will eat any kind of food. Since the pig's digestive system operates rather basically, many of these toxins remain in the system to be stored in more than adequate fatty tissues. Pigs also do not have any sweat glands. Sweat glands are a tool for the body to get rid of toxins. This leaves more toxins in the pig's body.
Yep. Ultimately, you keep hearing toxins, man. You know, with all these different ways, you know, it eats its own poo. It don't sweat. It's not even just its own poo. It's other feces as well, other excrements. So with all these formats, of course, there's going to be many toxins, and you know, I think this video is going to go into the worms as well. I'll just play some more. I won't do all the worms, but you know, just a mild bit, and you know, we'll continue.
The pork and swine industry has been continually plagued, and continues to be so to this day, by a wide variety of hazardous infections and diseases. Even pigs that are carefully reared in pig farms are still affected. According to the surprising new investigation on pigs that were raised in the US, 69% of all raw pork samples tested, nearly 200 samples in total, were contaminated with dangerous bacteria Yersinia enterocolitica, which causes fever and gastrointestinal illnesses with diarrhea, vomiting and stomach cramps. Pigs carry a variety of parasites in their bodies and meat. Some of these parasites are difficult to kill, even when cooking. This is the reason there are so many warnings out there about eating undercooked pork. Pork poses certain health risks from bacteria and resistant bacteria that causes infection and viruses. Shocking new research has shown that millions of people are living with parasites inside them from eating pork. Here are some of the deadliest parasites found in humans that consume pork. The pork tapeworm parasite.
I remember as well, there was I think it was a specific after camp session as well, where Apostle Toa also mentioned about parasites too. What was it again? But there was something that I mentioned about parasites, really, that they're really the ones that make a person desire to eat a certain thing. Let's say, you start to crave more sugar. It could be a certain parasite, man. You know, with all these different cravings, it'll be a certain parasite, even a certain type of food. But a person who normally eats pork, and if the same parasite enters the person's body, then the person would then desire to eat more of the pork, of the pigs. So, you know, these parasites, as I say, or as the apostles have said, you know, they got demons, man. There's like many demons within you. But the point being is, of course, that's what brings the cravings.
Taenia solium. The pork tapeworm is number 1 in top 10 list of foodborne parasites in the world, affecting 50 million people worldwide, killing 50,000 people each year worldwide. Though these figures are both likely to be underestimated according to the researchers. Tapeworm infections are common in Asia, Africa, the Philippines, South America, parts of the southern Europe, and pockets of North America. The pork tapeworm can affect your heart, brain, lungs, and diaphragm. In 60%.
It says heart, brain, lungs, and diaphragm.
North America. The pork tapeworm can affect your heart, brain, lungs.
Yeah, heart. It says their heart, brain, lungs, diaphragm. And of course, you know, the diaphragm, you can see the effects will be breathing. Well, obviously lungs and diaphragm, of course, the effects going to be the breathing as well, man. Shortness of breath, brain as well, you know, probably brain fog as well. Well, really multiple ways, because I know there was also another video where an individual who was eating pork from one of them trucks, he sold it. So it was in America, one of the states, I forgot. But the thing is, he pretty much had parasites in the brain, man. Or worms in the brain, and then putting holes in his brain as well. So I think they'll get into it here.
And diaphragm. In 60% of the diagnosed cases of pork tapeworm, the victim has cysts inside the brain, and with the cysts in the brain, you get seizures, coma, hallucinations, or even possible death. The pork tapeworm forms cysts inside the tissue of the pig. When the human eats pork, they get infected. Adult tapeworms living inside the intestines of humans produce up to 50,000 eggs each. In the human gut, the cysts form into an adult tapeworm, where these can grow up to several meters long. The adult worms lay eggs that have passed into human feces. If the pig eats the feces, the pig grows cysts inside its muscles, tissues, and the life cycle repeats. Tapeworm larvae, brain parasites, is an increasingly serious public health problem around the world. Pork tapeworm larvae can create cavities in the brain and other parts of the body tissues, where their tiny bodies can grow sometimes into tapeworms 2 to 7 meters long and can live up to 25 years in the human body. CT scans have shown affected patients having so many wormholes in the brain, making it appear similar to a starry sky.
Yep, that's what I was saying before, man. Oh, man. Look at that one right there. Of course, if you got, one of them, what's it called, that trichophobia thing, where you start getting irritated by holes, so many holes together, so not good for that. But, sometimes you're going to be seeing some rough things, man. Like, damn, holes in the brain. Yeah.
Affected patients having so many wormholes in the brain, making it appear similar to a starry sky.
Yeah, before we continue to the next one. So I was gonna guess. It might even be in the same chapter, man. Or maybe I have to search up elsewhere. Actually, hold on. Actually, it wasn't the same one. That wasn't it. Just need to go earlier on. So, it says here, Leviticus chapter 11 verse 7, and the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. And of course, cud refers to something like grass. There's things of the earth. Let me actually see what it says, but I think it means grass. Where is it? The cud, scraping the throat, cheweth the cud. Ruminating animals bring up to chew, cud. I think those ones where they got to bring up the food to their throats again to re-chew or something. I think that's what it refers to. Based on that. Let me search the definition. Partly digested food returned from the first stomach of ruminants to the mouth for further chewing. Yeah, so it's basically like re-chewing the food that you've already partially digested. So it eats. Certain animals do. I think the cow does that as well. So let me go back to that. Oh, yeah, I was over here. Yeah, the point is, and the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean. Yeah. So cloven. Actually, let me just search pig feet. They even made pig feet into a damn food, man. Damn. They made flipping. But anyways, yeah, the point, the reason why I was getting it, because, as the scripture said, though it divides the foot. So wait, let me read it again. And the swine, though he divide the hoof. So even though it's divided, let's continue on. Where is it? Okay. And be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. So of course, it's unclean, man. Remember, they don't sweat. Remember the video? They do not sweat, and they got all sorts of parasites. That's why we're going to continue with that right now.
Energy supplies don't want you to know.
Okay, that's not the right one.
Aloha.
Okay. But that is the video that I wanted to get, though.
Chronic headaches and pork tapeworms. New research has shown that the cause of chronic headaches, such as migraines and tension, headache symptoms may be a sign of pork tapeworm inside the brain. The most common cause of adult-onset epilepsy in the world is caused by pork tapeworm. 50 million people around the world are affected by epilepsy, many of which are caused by pork tapeworm. It can cause brain tumours, depression, dementia, aneurysm. Aneurysm occurs when part of the blood vessel, artery, or cardiac chamber swells, potentially causing headaches, dizziness, seizures, other neurological disorders, and sudden death. This one parasite alone should be enough to stop you from eating pork.
All sorts of things, man. All sorts. I mean, the guy just goes on to, in the video, of course, mention a different type of parasites, man.
Or even eat food made by someone with a pork tapeworm.
So it says that people are at higher risk for getting parasites parasite eggs, if they have a pork tapeworm infection. So of course, those who actually eat it. Live in a household with someone who has a pork tapeworm. Eat food made by someone with a pork tapeworm infection. That's why we gotta be praying out here, man. Cause you know, certain bros be living with families. I know I myself still living with family. You know, this is why I gotta pray. We gotta fast as well. You know, that will do some effect to these parasites as well. And when I say parasites, I'm talking about, you know, the ones that get outside of it. Cause of course, if you're in the street, you ain't supposed to be in the pork, man. As the scripture said in Leviticus 11:7, man, that thing's unclean. So the point being is, we gotta fast so that, you know, whatever infection that we get as well, whether it be through drinking unclean water, which the water we drink today is not as clean as it was in the ancient world. That's facts. But really, with all these things that we're consuming, we gotta have a way to flush it all out, man. Which really fasting will do that. Praying to Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, of course. Taking care of our meats, man. When I say taking care of our meats, it means being cautious of what you eat, the type of food you eat. So let me play this, a portion of that. Well, actually, let me get this final preset and I'll play the rest, the other video. I have to wrap it up in this session. Whereas the other video is just going to be short. So, I was going to get something, okay. Not that Alright, hold on. This is 32 plus 30. Actually, hold on. Ecclesiasticus. There's no one. Maybe it's 30. Verse 25. Yep. Ecclesiasticus chapter 30 verse 25. And a cheerful and good heart will have care of his meats. A cheerful and good heart will have care of his meat and diet. So obviously one that will be more cautious. I think the part 3 would just be me playing this video. Where is it? Yeah, this one right here.
And, well, good evening. We're aloha and, well, good evening. We're with Miss Piggy, okay? And I've got a selection of food here, and this is an experiment we're going to do. And this experiment is to be able to find out what parasite's in control, is because I'm going to show you in a second. They've been watching this food for a little bit, and they're going nuts. They're smelling, okay? And remember, we're talking about parasites here, and we're going to throw in a variety.
Yeah, I'm going to have to I'll probably just play it for the part 3, you know, a short moment of it, and just upload that separately. So, you know, Shalom wa Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah. Kahalanim la Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah. And double honors to the great Muslim apostles.